into the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
What? For all you wrestling fans out there, Dusty Rhodes, our engineer, found this. This is the American dream.
It is.
We're living it right now.
Right here.
What's going on, AfterBuzzers? It's your boy Nino. You are tuned into another episode of the Minority Report After Show here on AfterBuzz TV. You can catch me at Nino Llanera on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Hit me up. Talk to me about this episode. And over to my left, living the American dream as well, too, is Mr. Howard III. What's going on, man?
Hey, everybody. Of course, you can catch me on Instagram and Twitter at Howard III. That's Howard 3RD. Living the American dream.
There we go. There we go. All right, guys. This was season 1, episode 8. It's drawing to a near, guys, because we know there's only 10 episodes here for this season.
Yep.
And possibly only a season 1. We don't know yet. It's called The American Dream, and we find out why in the episode. And it touches bases on a lot of stuff currently that we're talking about now.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think about the episode?
You know what? The episode was really good tonight. The writing has just gotten better. Them taking that little break, to do what they had to do. I really liked it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, man. I've been gone for like 2 weeks. I feel like I missed a lot.
Where you been, Nino? The people been missing you? You've been gone?
I'm back. No, because I was sick the other week, right? Yeah. And then we were on hiatus.
Oh, true.
You know what I mean? I'm happy we're back, though. Finish it out 3 more episodes strong. But this kind of brought it back a little bit. We kind of saw a lot more of Blake this episode, because he kind of just pops in and out, right?
Yeah, I was happy to see that they actually made a little episode around him.
A little bit of a backstory. I think he was recently also on Power 106 talking about Minority Report as well, too.
Oh.
Yeah, but I mean, here we go. So 2 years, not 2 years. This was 2 years into precog. We have a flashback, and it's of a family and kind of like abusive relationship.
Yeah, it was a really strong opening tonight. You saw how... Well, we didn't really see. We just saw kind of little flashbacks and then them in the little milk bath.
Yeah, we actually saw Wally taking care of Arthur, Dash, and Agatha in the milk bath, and we saw how caring he was, actually.
Yeah, it was a little weird for me.
That he hopped right in. He was like,
right.
Okay, it's gonna be okay, baby.
It was a little bit too much of a weird father role. I was a little uncomfortable, but those were his kids. So
yes, basically they were his kids.
Pretty much, yeah.
Exactly. They're like, he's like, don't have a vision right now. You're in the middle of something. Go back to sleep, baby. It's gonna be okay.
Yeah, a little weird, Wally. Right. Just a tad.
Just a little tad weird. Man, I wish I can go to work like that in his like Hawaiian shirt and shorts, just totally chill.
He was like watching something on his little screen. Like a little movie, just kicking back
and making sure the babies were okay. But so we see that they had a vision, and the vision was of that 2 years into precog, as a little flashback, and we find out later on that's baby Blake.
Yep.
What? I was like, and as we went on in the episode, I thought it was somebody else. I thought it was the possible murderer. Did you think that too?
Yeah, I was like, that can't be Blake. I just wouldn't put 2 and 2 together.
Me either.
Maybe like Blake's cousin or something like that, or just somehow related to Blake,
but not Blake.
Right.
So the scene opened up to Blake and his mother and stepfather having dinner at the house. And I guess, obviously I don't think he has too good of a relationship with his stepfather. His stepfather seems ridiculously abusive, saw the bruise on his mom's face.
Right.
And you guys, it just never ends well. And Blake couldn't take it. And the precog stepped in before he could do anything.
Yeah.
Because he could have actually hurt his mom on accident while trying to defend him from Dante, his stepdad.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we see later on, but just touch on it now, we see that it wasn't really even the father who was going to kind of commit the murder.
I think it might have been an accident for Blake trying to trying to get the stepdad, but got the mother.
Sad.
But you never know though, because that stepdad was already laying hands on his mom, so.
And he was already drinking, and it could have went straight to the left. So.
Exactly, but imagine if it went the other way. Minority Report would have been a whole different show.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Exactly. But to fast forward to present day. Oh wait, can I just say, did the police really have to go through the window like that? Like they couldn't come in the door. Like, but I guess it's timing, right? It's always about timing.
It's always about. They had to make sure. They were like, you know what? We need a fast way in there, so window it is.
Right. When the table started shaking, it's, oh, he has powers. I know. And then we see the helicopter and boom, glass shattered. Exactly. Stop. This is the police.
That's what I thought at first, because I was like, oh, okay, they got powers. You know, in 2065, everybody's gonna have magical powers. I'm down with it.
It's the future.
But then, oh no, it's just the police through the window, helicopter.
They were just watching. Exactly. But okay, we learned a lot of things in this episode. So we went through the window, and we look at present day. I don't want to say 4th of July, but present day, like things that happened with immigration reform.
Yeah,
which is kind of crazy. They touched upon it. It's called Amnesty Day, where they allow 2 million undocumented people amnesty.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I was shocked that they even really touched on the subject.
Right.
I thought it was, a great idea. I didn't think they were going to go this far deep in, though.
Right, exactly. I was like, oh, wow, they're really aggressive with this.
Yeah.
And then the writers obviously had to pull back a little bit to satisfy the other half.
Exactly.
It was like, yeah, they get amnesty, but they don't get any help at all. And everything's off the grid. Like, okay, that really?
I know. Why give them a holiday, but you can't give them benefits?
Exactly.
And okay, we're going to give you a holiday, but
it's like working
still
on
no benefits.
Right. It's like when you're working a 9 to 5 and you have to work on a weekend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was touched upon. I thought that was a really cool way that they touched upon that. Yeah. It kind of got you to think what could really happen.
And quite a few times, really, this whole episode was about it.
Yeah.
So I was like, kudos to you, Fox.
It was. I mean, what's it called? Why? Just tell me this though.
What?
Why does the South Side always have to be the bad side?
I know.
Okay. The South Side.
I know.
In every situation. I mean, in reality, I guess that's true. But how did the South Side always get to be the bad side?
Every time, it's just South Side is bad side.
Right.
I was like, just be the uppity part, you know.
Right, like when we talk about like South Central LA or whatnot, everything is always has to be bad.
Yeah, I never really thought about it like that.
I'm like, okay, so like they're like the South Side of town, and then we see it looks a little rough, but it looks. I would live there. It looks kind of dope.
Yeah,
though.
it doesn't look too bad.
They got bodegas. They got different things. They got what I mean. Like it was multicultural is what I like about that.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm excited for 2065 if it gets, if we get to be like that, in a sense. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I never really thought about it like that, how the South Side is always marked as the bad side.
Right, exactly.
But sometimes you find the best food on the South Side, best little car deals over there, like everything really, the little swap meets.
Exactly.
I love the South Side. So
anyways.
Whatever.
But then they go to the South Side because Dash gets a vision of a murder. Obviously, he's really getting into his job, and he's like really well versed in cop world.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But he does see a vision, and it was fireworks, an octopus,
pretty cool.
And then what was the other one? A hat from that cafe.
Yeah, the logo.
Yes, the logo of the hat from the cafe. Cafe. Ugon. Oh, don't get mad at me if I got that wrong. Okay,
don't be mad at us.
Right, exactly. But that's like a hot spot for ex-consul of that. Not to eat at.
Yeah, maybe but it was ran by a guy who was an ex-con, and he's a businessman too. He's mixing food and kind of hustling on the side. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Who would have saw that coming? I mean, low key, that's a good idea, but whatever.
Okay, Howard, precog, you better watch out for this one here.
I'm just saying, who would think about that? A restaurant, drugs, mix them.
Yeah, and it was even one that was like drugs. It was like handguns. It was things that you can't find. A total black market show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And who would have thought that, like in 2016, a regular gun would be black market?
2065?
2065, sorry.
You ready for next year?
I'm sorry.
You ready for next year?
I am. Whoop.
Yeah, no, it's kind of crazy how not complex it has gotten. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because obviously it happens nowadays. You know what I mean? That's how it is here. But I would have thought it would have got a little bit more complex in the future. But
I guess, you know,
old school. They keep it
old
in
school.
real.
You know, everything comes back every 10 years, so maybe that's just the comeback time. You know,
Exactly. Are you ready for baggy pants again?
Hey, let's do it. I did it in 5th grade. Might as well do it again.
I did it in 5th grade. I'm ready for this new high fashion in 2065, though.
I know.
They got leather everything, and everything's all sleek and good.
I know. Megan is looking good.
Megan is
Side
looking
note,
good.
Megan is looking pretty good.
Side note, what about her faces, though?
Yeah.
When she talks to Blake, she has these, like, don't come at me like that
I
kind of
know.
face. Like,
She always has
you know,
that.
she's like, did you just ask me that? And I'm like, yeah, he did,
does
Megan.
always-
Yeah, Vega,
always
get it
has
together.
She always got that, what you say face? Like,
Exactly. Don't test me. I know what I'm doing. That is your boss. You better calm down.
for real though.
Dash better calm down too, because he is giving things up left and right.
Yeah, you know, this whole episode, I was kind of like, wow, Dash is just letting the cat all the way out the bag. Just
Right.
not even try to hide his little visions anymore. He said,
No.
3 in the back, one's armed.
Exactly.
Dash, you know Blake is right here, right?
Exactly.
Like,
Oh, so let's get back into the storyline. Like,
Yeah.
So they're gonna go into this cafe to figure out who's the murderer, try to find out. You know, obviously their leads, like they usually do, right?
Right.
And Blake, well, he's like, I'm gonna come too.
yeah, he just said, I'm tagging along. You guys
Right.
are the best, you know, we have in the company. Let me
Right.
see how y'all work.
And once again, that making good face though. Well, uncomfortable. Like you come in, like yeah.
What you say?
That right. That's my job, Vega. Yes, I am coming, because the DIA is suspecting that. Why are they such and why are they producing such high numbers?
Yeah.
But I really just think it's Blake's like it's Blake's curiosity of why. I really don't think it has anything to do with the DIA. In my head, and if it does, I must have missed that episode. I probably did, because I was sick.
Yeah, you know, it's the flu. It got to you.
It got to me, yeah. But nonetheless, yeah. So he comes along, and Dash messes up in the restaurant right away when he's like, "Stop!" before you bump into that waitress.
Yep.
The waitress wasn't there yet.
Another moment of Dash just letting his little visions hang all out.
Exactly, and obviously, I'm like, Blake knows. You know what I mean? I feel like he knows. He has to know. Like after these are like multiple incidents that he's kind of seen and like just wondered about.
Yeah, he did know. I believe that too. He knew. He didn't probably know it was this extreme, but he knew something was up. He probably thought it was the inside guy.
Right.
Like they had somebody.
Exactly. I mean, everyone seemed like a damn inside guy at that restaurant, though. When they walked in, everyone was like, oh, watch out. 5-0 is here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everyone was on super high alert. You know what I mean? And they talked to the owner of Ugon. Once again, if I say the name wrong, don't kill me.
I know.
They talked to the owner, and he's like, I'm just trying to stay out of trouble. I wasn't trying to ditch the cameras. Yeah, get out of here. Yeah,
Okay.
right. He was doing something bad. They just didn't catch him yet.
Exactly.
Right. If there was a season 2, maybe he'd come back on again as an accomplice.
I'm saying because they only had like 10 lines, but hey, do you?
Yeah.
Shoot, Fox, I need 10 lines. I'll do it for 10
I need
lines.
10 lines. I love it. I do 2 Fox.
I'm
Don't
saying.
play. But anyways, so yeah, they talked to him, and then Dash is like, I see the hat on Felix, the delivery guy, who I originally thought was the guy from the beginning.
Right, we both did.
Right, until we found out it was Blake. Ooh, big change. And they talked to him, but Blake knows the deal. Blake is from the South Side. He knows, like, you got to be careful the way you interact with these people in the public. You know what I mean? Like, snitches and whatnot.
Right.
Like, and Vega is just all like, no chill.
For real. I
know?
was like, Vega, can you pull back a little bit?
Like she's not a cop, right?
I know.
Like,
She just walks in there, 5-0. Blake, Vega, can you not do that? Like,
Right, like-
just, Metro PD. What?
I'm like, where did you grow up, Vega? Like, dang, like you have no fear.
No fear, just right in there and just, you're coming with us.
Exactly.
Vega, calm down.
Exactly. I guess in these instances, we know too, you got to be careful when you play with criminals. Obviously,
Exactly.
right?
Especially when they were all outnumbered like that.
Exactly.
So why would you go in flashing your badge knowing, well, probably not knowing, but there's 20 people in there
exactly,
who are ready to attack.
they already look rough. Like,
Right.
You got to play it cool a little bit.
Yeah.
But then Blake knew, like, okay, Felix, we're gonna do this somewhere else, because he just saw the fear in Felix's eyes and kind of remembered how it was to live in that area. You know what I mean?
Right.
So.
Which I didn't. Well, this is before we knew who Blake, and his
Exactly.
mother. But who would have thought Blake grew up like in the South Side?
Right, Mr. Tailored Suit. You know what I mean?
Right,
Really
Mr.
high up on the ranking totem pole.
Exactly,
Like,
Mr. Boss. He's like, listen, I'm with you. Like I grew
Exactly.
up down the street.
Exactly.
So I thought that was pretty cool.
So he knew what was up. So he
Right.
brought him downtown instead, or to the precinct or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm glad they did, because something might have gone down if they tried to squeeze it whatever out of him there.
Right.
But then Dash sees homie with a tattoo, Mr. Tendo Ginta. Once again, if I missed his name,
I know.
I'm sorry.
They were giving us some hard names tonight.
Yeah,
they were throwing them
I
out.
think it's Tendo Ginta. And
I believe you.
Right? You believe me? Okay. And he's like the head of the gang, and like we learn later on, he brought in 8 gangs all together in unity to basically just rule that area.
That's power right there.
7th and 9th, y'all. Watch out.
That is power, to bring in 8 different ethnicities like together and just work as one, and then you're the king, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's power.
You must feel special. I'm not trying to mess with you, though.
I know.
Don't come
I
at
ain't
me.
about that life.
I am not
I'm
coming
the
to
gang.
7th and 9th. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But he sees it, and Dash just kind of looks at his eyes and just like, I know you about that life.
Yeah.
You about that life. And then they bring him down and to confiscate his goods, and his goods are black market.
Right.
He claims he never looks at anything, and I believe him, though. For some reason, I believe him.
I believed him too. I was like, you know what? He's probably just doing his job,
Yeah.
He's trying to make ends meet.
Exactly, because, and we find out that all the people are labeled 14. The kids who are labeled 14 basically are the ones who received the amnesty. Oh wait, no, did they? Or I could be wrong. The 2 million people that received the amnesty. He's part of the 2 million people that received the amnesty, and everyone else got closed off, but he also didn't get any benefits. So he has to live off the grid, which means he gets no health insurance. He gets no help from the government to live whatsoever if he doesn't have a job. No unemployment, no blah, blah, blah. Everything has to be on his own. And it's just him, basically. It's almost living like on the island.
I know. Pretty much. I mean, it's a sad sad thing.
Yeah, it's a very sad situation, and a really weird way to tap into the other side,
right?
Of it all or whatnot. The social awareness and everything that the writers put into this is really good, and that's why I like the writing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I keep week in and week out. We keep saying the writing is just getting better. It's progressing, and kudos to you, Fox.
Right. And you know what? I watched Minority Report. I watched the movie finally.
Oh, okay. Oh, you did?
It was very long, but it was good though.
Okay.
I got a shout out to Marissa, one of our engineers, let me borrow the DVD, and I see why people are like the movie is way better. Obviously, this just went another direction. It is 10 years after. It's kind of the plot. It's a lot different. There's a lot of things missing, or whatnot. So I could see why diehard fans just saw this as like, this is not Minority Report.
Yeah.
I honestly think they could have named it somewhere else, named it something else, and I think it would have been better for people. But when they hear Minority Report, they automatically associate it with the movie. And it does tap into the movies, but this is, almost like a sequel, basically.
Oh.
Yeah. So
that means I got to see it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, how long was it exactly? Like 2.5?
I think it was 2 hours, 2.5, well, maybe more. I'll pass on the DVD.
Okay. Yeah. I'll save that for a rainy day. It's been raining in LA. So.
Yeah, I mean, you could DVD and show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'll make some time when it's cold.
It's
like
getting
it is.
cold.
Yeah, out here in LA, it's terrible.
It's getting cold. I wonder what season it is in 2065 from what we see, because it looks really nice out in DC. By the way, but let's move on. So they find out that it's a black market type situation,
right?
When they're in the precinct, and Vegas still has no chill and was like, he's gonna be the killer. He's gonna be the killer. You got to keep him. You know what I mean? As somebody who's suspected of. Possibly harming somebody, and they're like, "How are you gonna do that?" You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Once again, she's slipping, and Blake still doesn't know.
Slipping, and Blake is just thinking in his head, like, "What's going on?
What makes you so sure, Vega?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "Well, my instincts, Blake."
I know. Like really? Like that's it? Your instincts?
Exactly.
Okay.
And he wants to know who the informative is. You know what I mean? So let's flash forward. Okay, everything he lets Felix go. You know what I mean? And he's going to try to just, follow along and see what happens. Vega's like, okay, well, we're going to get names. Obviously, we're going to go to Arthur, right?
Right.
Thinking that she's not going to get, caught up or anything. Mr. Blake is smart enough to put a little sensor thing here.
A little thing on the paper.
Little tracker on the paper that had the octopus drawing, which I don't even know when he did that.
Remember when he took it from They were in.
Oh, they were. Yes, right.
They were talking to the guy, the delivery boy, and when Blake took the photo, I think that's when he put it on there. And he
I'm
gave
still
it
like
back
super
to her.
slick. Does he have that in his pocket? Just like, I want to track you. I'm gonna track you too. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's small enough, so he probably just whipped it right out.
It's
I thought that was pretty cool,
It's like a sticker
though.
packet. Like,
yeah,
you've been a good student. Yeah, so I guess that's what he put it on, and then they went to go see Arthur.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, Arthur gave the name, the name Felix, and they're like, okay, that it is him. You know what I mean? And then what's it called? They accidentally leave the paper there. Yeah. And then right comes behind Mr. Arthur is Blake, and he knows that. He's like, this must be yours. And then they start talking, and he doesn't really, he plays it cool. You know what I mean? Like Blake, what's it called? Like Dash should, and like Vegas should. He's a very calm, collective kind of dude. Obviously, he doesn't want to get found out. So
that's what I love about Arthur. He was just sitting there like, you're not gonna get anything on me. Like, I'm only gonna give you the little bit.
Right. And he's like, well, I guess that's who I am. Hello. You know what I mean? Not really saying it.
Yeah, which is how Dash and Vegas should play it. Just calm, cool, and collected. But
no, just totally loses the situation.
Right.
And wait a minute. What comes up behind Blake as they're talking?
Oh, the little assistant.
She's like a tall, scary looking, like.
Yeah, she's scary.
Yo.
I low-key want to see a little backstory on her, though.
Right.
I want to see a little bit how they met and where she came from. Just a little bit.
Why is he so trusting in her?
Exactly. And does she know the secret? Does she know Arthur's, past and stuff?
Right.
Why is she here? She's more than an assistant. What can she do?
Right.
Just a little bit, Fox. I need to see a little bit of that.
A little bit, right? Well, yeah, with the intimidating piercings, that face.
Exactly.
She doesn't blink.
Right. And she never speaks. I want to see why she never talks.
She just listens.
Right.
She's like halfway.
She speaks with her eyes. She's
a halfway good communicator. She has the nonverbal cues on point. Yeah, but for real, like she comes in once again with faces. So I'm gonna look at this camera again, and she's just like, what do you want? Can I help you? Exactly. I'm like, everything's so creepy. Oh my god, I don't want to see the playback for this. I probably look crazy with my faces today. But
you do a little. It's okay.
But she looked nuts, and I'm like, I'm scared of you.
Yeah.
Your piercings and your intimidating face. But looks like he might actually put a hit on Blake.
Yeah.
Question mark?
That's what I got from it. I'm like, all options, like all offers, he said, or something.
On the table.
And she was right on it, giving us crazy look right to the camera too.
Exactly. Not about it. I'm gonna stay clear of that. But then all hell breaks loose because they go back to the restaurant, and basically Blake finds out right there. He figures it out as they went along because Dash, one after another, just gives it away. Obviously, they're in the line of fire, so he almost has no option.
It's true.
When you have when you have like 2 seconds to think, like, what are you gonna do?
I mean, Dash did just give it all away. I mean, that's true. It's nothing there that he can be like, just kind of like, don't do that, don't do this, what I mean? Like, he has to just do it like that to save everybody's life.
There's no time, you know what I mean? So they went back to Ogun once again, sorry. They went back to the cafe, and they were gonna basically try to stop the murder because they think it's happening that day because it's Amnesty Day. And Blake follows. He knows.
Of course.
And Vegas like, are you following me, Blake? Like, well, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, exactly. You know he wasn't going to leave you alone. Exactly. One day is not enough. Like,
you knew he was going to be following you day in and day out when he first said, let me tag along.
Exactly.
That's when you should have known, like, oh, shoot, like something's going on.
Watch my back. Y'all are not that great of detectives if you can't figure that out, right?
How could she solve crime but not know her boss is watching her?
Exactly.
Come on, Vega.
Get it together. But that's when Dash is like, oh, they're in there. There's 3 of them. Blah, 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 blah.
Right.
XYZ. More facts. And Blake's like, well, what? Like, how did you, what?
As you know all that. And as soon as they get outside, Blake's like, okay, I know what's going on with you, Dash. Like, just be upfront. You're one of them.
Exactly. It's funny, though, because Fox could have totally played this differently. In my head, Fox could have wrote, like, Blake thinks that that Dash is a like a convict informant instead of a precog. You know what I mean? And it could have played a little bit more. But I think because the 10 episodes are coming to a year,
they were like, we're cutting the episode, so we got to hurry up.
We need to paste this all together. Exactly.
We need to get the secret out like now.
Right. So he knows. And now it's the kind of like question mark is what's he going to do with the situation? What would you do if you were Vega's boss and you knew this was like something that could just ruin everything?
I know. I would have to tell, I guess the DEA or whatever, I would have to let the people know because I can't cover you. I'm sorry. I want to be able to cover you. I would have to go to the DEA and just let them know, like, I've got this little precog with me.
This little precog.
He's the only one I know about. I wouldn't tell about the siblings. He's the only one I know about.
So you wouldn't go into Arthur's situation?
No. I would leave Arthur out of it because why? I still don't even know about Arthur. I just know he's a businessman. Right. But I mean, what would you do?
I would be intimidated because Vega kind of went out on him when he was like, he was like, well, if you say this, if you tell them this, it's going to be on your bad too.
That's
because
true.
You hired this guy and you didn't do the proper research to find out, who he really was.
That's true. I guess you are stuck like kind of between a rock and a hard place.
Exactly. So. And also, I think after experiencing what they experienced as they went on with with the case, I would probably have second thoughts too.
That's true. Okay, I didn't think about all of that, so maybe I wouldn't expose him right away.
I think I pulled a Vega on you right now. I totally think I pulled a Vega on you.
Yeah, I think you did. I didn't think about all of that, so
yeah.
Think about it. I'd sleep on it for 3 days.
Okay, good, because it'd be a hard decision, I think.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. Here, we think Blake's gonna pull a plug and he's gonna call the rest of everybody in his upper management, the lieutenants, and basically tell the truth and bring him to the right people. No, they're gonna put him back in the bath. It's gonna be horrible.
Yeah,
not a good thing. And then Akila's like, I want to save you, Dash.
I know. Hooray for Akila. Yeah. I wrote that on my notes. I was like, she's literally the best friend. Like, she's the ride or die best friend. Because who would remember in the beginning we saw when Akila was pretty much telling Dash, if you get caught and I lose my job, it's your butt. Like, exactly. I'm coming for you. And now look at her. She's helping Dash out. She's taking, opening the door, shutting off the lights for her. Go ahead, Akila.
Always the real MVP.
She really is.
Akila, all the time.
And I need a little backstory on her too.
More
but you know what?
Akila. Right.
I mean, we're cutting this short, so.
Exactly. We could roll over to a new, you know what I mean?
What if they do that, like a spinoff?
I would watch Akila spinoff. I'm just curious. I'll watch Akila spinoff. But yeah, so Blake wants to turn him into the good guys. Never going to work out.
Yeah.
And Dash gets this opportunity because Akila shuts off all the power in that area. To just let him out because she's like, you've been trapped before. You know what I mean? I'll take care of whatever happens to me.
Exactly. And she's the MVP.
Exactly. And then Dash decides to stay.
Yeah, I kind of didn't see that come. Well, I didn't see it coming. I know people probably at home were probably like, we knew he was going to stay or something like that. But I personally didn't see that coming. I thought he was going to leave and just go back to the island or something.
I wasn't sure. I really wasn't sure. I mean, as it kind of drew out a little bit longer, I was like, he's staying. But in the beginning, I was just like, what is his decision? What would he do?
Because it's hard for Dash because he has loyalty to Vega, but he still wants his freedom.
Exactly.
Like, he doesn't want to be in the bad anymore.
You don't want Agatha's bad side either. Like, Agatha, I told you in the milk bath trying to hit him on the corner, like, you back here again, look what happened. Like, I told you, my visions were true.
That's true. He's just pulled in 3-4 different ways.
Yeah.
So.
But he's like, I have committed to this job. I am an analyst, and here I am, and this is what I want to do. He's just he's another MVP.
I know.
As well too. There are a lot of MVPs. Yeah, go Dash.
Go Dash.
Get you in your cop life here, and so they decide to just go with it. And say, Blake's like, okay, I'm not going to turn you in. Let's try to work this out. Asking too many questions, just not enough time.
Way too many.
And Dash is like, let's get this together, and you could ask me all the questions you want later on.
Shoot. I was like, okay, because Blake was trying to have a whole sit down type of thing, like drink over coffee. I know. And Dash is like, listen. Some people are about to die. Like, ask me your questions later. We got to go.
Exactly. They have to go. They're always on time.
Always.
This is why the police had to, run into Blake's window back in the day when he was little to come in because it was all about the timing. You know what I mean?
That's true.
There's no knock knock. I think you're the bad person. I'm gonna arrest you now.
There's just okay. We going in there. We ask questions later.
Exactly. And they're like, so, but they don't know where everything's gonna go down. They have no idea.
Right.
And Blake's like 7th and 9th.
Yeah.
Like, dang, Blake, how'd you know that? Are you not telling us something either? And it was in the tattoo because it showed the tentacles are on 7th and 9th.
Which was low-key pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I mean, I'm not about that life. But I'm just saying to have the octopus on his arm, but have the little, what do they call it? Like the little octopus tails or whatever?
Tentacles.
Tentacles.
Mm-hmm. Tentacles.
Tentacles.
There you
My
go.
bad. The little tentacles. But have it into a 7 and a 9.
Yeah, and that's where they meet
cool.
up. And me and Blake knows this because he's about that life.
He was.
Well, no, he was living in that life, not about it. And so he knows the inside and outs. You know what I mean, of the situation. So they go to 7th and 9th, and they try to have an intervention with Felix.
Yep.
But I gotta say, those fireworks are really dope.
For real though, for them to,
you're gonna think I'm so nerdy, but just like for them to throw it on the ground, and it's like the Statue of Liberty arm. You know what I mean?
I was low-key like, I can't wait for that. Like, let's hurry up, future. Let's bring that now in the near future instead of far future. Like, come on.
That was really dope. I was like, okay, but back to the story. Sorry, geeked out for a second. They try to have like an intervention with Felix, like who was basically thinking like he can go. Wait a minute, how are you gonna think you can just go up there? You know what I mean? By yourself with a gun and you know what I mean? Try to get your packages back.
Exactly.
I get your loyalty. This is the only job you have.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or you might die. I get it. But you got to come up with a better plan.
That was crazy. I was like, how is he just going to walk up there with one little gun, only him, into the main house, the main, hustler house, thinking he's going to get his packages?
No, not going to happen.
No. And you know the case that he's got his people, the gang members are already outside watching.
And once again, okay, then Blake, Dash, and Vega want to have an intervention with him outside there. Like, you think no one's watching you right now?
Like, you're at the main house. These gangsters aren't just gonna let you walk up to the door and ring the doorbell.
And Blake, you should know better.
Yeah, especially since you live down the block. You should know.
Exactly. Blake, you should know better. But they get hustled to go inside because that was it. They saw him. They're not gonna. Obviously, the gang's not gonna take this, and they go in and. What's it called? They try to negotiate. Like, Blake's like, I got this. So, you're going to give my friend's packages back, and I'm going to give you 24 hours to hightail out of here. Like, okay, Blake, really? There's like 40 of them, and they're laughing at you.
That's what I'm saying. Like, who says that? Like, I won't turn you guys in within 24 hours.
Right.
What is
Super
that?
confident, right?
Exactly.
Like his power means something there.
What is that going to mean to guys who are holding guns? Like, they could just shoot you and never be, won't ever be found out. So, come on, Blake.
But then Dash has his amazing visions once again and knows what's coming because we saw beforehand a drone was let go to bring some packages or deliver some packages. And Dash carefully planned steps in his head, and he knows, and he's like, just be prepared. They take Felix away to the corner because I think they're about to kill him.
Right.
And then, Dash just starts walking towards, the damn window, and you're like, okay, what's going on?
Okay, with no fear.
What's gonna happen? And then, he ducks, and what happens? Boom! Blade to the face.
Right, just blood everywhere.
I'm like, this is the bloodiest I've seen from Minority Report. Like,
I know. I was like, hold up, Minority Report. Wait a minute. This is a little too much blood for me.
Yeah,
hold on.
Blood all up on the face. And then that's when the shootout starts happening, and everyone gets down, and Dash saves Blake a couple times.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of helps in Dash's defense with Blake, and I think you need to wait a minute before you try to turn me in.
Yeah, I think so too.
You know what I mean? So they get the whole situation under control. Everything's all good now. They bring Felix sees his package, and he's like, "Yeah, package, oh yeah." Puts it underneath his shirt, and thinks he's gonna get away with it. You know what I mean? But Blake's like, I can't let you do that. You know what I mean? And before we go into whose the package was and what it's about, I was thinking that Dash was going to clean his face with all that blood, but was just letting it linger.
Seriously,
as time went on.
I was like, really, Dash? I know you don't know really how to people, like Katie used to say, but come on, you should know how to clean your face. Like, people don't walk around with other people's blood on their face.
Exactly. Straight to his brother's house and was like, listen, I think Blake knows, but it's okay because Vega trusts him. You know he's not going to like that. You know he's not gonna like
so
them.
now Agatha's vision is low-key coming true.
It's even worse.
Slowly
Yeah.
coming, true. Agatha's vision.
Yeah, it's gonna come to fruition anytime soon within the next 2 episodes, right? But yeah, so he gets punched, and Blake's not happy. I mean, not Blake. Arthur's not happy. And then we see that the book is a first edition something, and it's like Origins of Species, and it was something that was stolen 18 months ago, and people were looking for it.
Right.
But it had something special inside. I think it has to do with the terrorist that they were talking about, which we didn't mention. I'm sorry. In that room, the intelligence room, when Blake and the rest of the people had the meeting. There's a terrorist attack that's possibly being planned, and there's invitations to people like on cards with like this like little like symbol that's like inside embedded, and we see that like one of the symbols or a similar thing is on that book. And when he opens the book, when the rightful owner gets it back or whatnot, he tears the page out and he's reading something, and he gets something from there too, which was hidden, and I think it has to do with the possible terrorist attacks.
I'm with you. I'm excited to see a little bit more about this guy who got the book back.
Like, who is he? He's creepy.
Yeah, very creepy. And I thought that was pretty cool, though, that they put the little, like a little hidden message in the book.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought that was pretty cool.
And I think that's what, that's kind of what I tied everything together.
Right.
But let's get into really quick predictions because we're about to run out of time, but I want to see your thoughts. I want to hear your thoughts.
And now, your AfterBuzz
What was
TV.
this? I was like flying. Yeah. All right, Mr. Howard III. I want to know what you think is going to happen in the next 2 episodes.
In the next 2 episodes, I think, of course, the terrorist attack is going to be the biggest one that they've seen so far. I think Vega and Dash are going to get there a little bit too late for it to actually stop it. I don't see the vision coming to fruition. I don't think they're going to save the world. It's going to happen. That's what I believe. And then I also believe Blake is going to have another soft spot, kind of like how he had tonight with the guy he related with him or, connected with him. I think he's not going to turn Dash in. Somehow they're going to cover it up. I don't know how, but somehow they're going to flip it. And I don't think they'll be back in the milk bath next Monday.
I kind of agree with you. I think something's going to happen with a terrorist attack. I think they're going to stop part of it, but they're not going to be able to stop everything. It's going to be really draining on Dash, I think, and Vega. But Blake's going to have a soft spot and is not going to want to turn them in. But I feel like they might get found out somehow, some way, because so much intelligence is going on with the situation that they're going to have to find out some way, somehow. Yeah. So I think something like that's going to happen. I think they might end up in the milk bath, but obviously I think they're going to get out. I don't think they're going to stay in there. It's going to be a happy ending, I'm hoping. But I guess we're just going to have to see what happens. But it looks like from what we saw in the previews that the terrorist attack is going to be a really big thing. Yeah. And, and obviously we saw what happened with Paris recently. So this is really tying in really closely with what's going on right now. So prayers sent out to Paris and everything that's happening, and the innocent people in Syria and all that stuff. It's kind of scary. It's 2065 and a lot of the things are still kind of the same. Technology is different, but we see people's personalities are the same. There's still bad parts of town. So I guess we just got to keep on living.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, we just got to keep on living, hoping for the best, right?
Exactly. Oh, I also don't think Vega and Dash will be together. I don't see that happening.
I see Aquila and Dash though.
Really?
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. It's not time for the love connection. All right, guys. Well, that is our show. Thank you once again for tuning in after a week of being gone, 2 weeks for me. Yeah. And we'll see you next week, and let's see what happens, guys. Once again, it's your boy, Nino. You can catch me at Nino Llanera on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and my co-host here.
Yay! It's me, Howard III. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Howard III. That's Howard3RD. And, of course, on my website, howardthird.com. Go right now.
There you go, guys. All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.